Consider how many people check their social media accounts daily just to admire some seemingly random online influencer. Now, the question is, what does it take to become an influencer? Let me answer this for you. Becoming the online influencer is a journey that involves commitment, sincerity, and a thorough understanding of your target audience. It is all about connecting with your fans and offering quality information in your chosen sector. Now, let's deeper into the realm of influencer. Are they genuine ones? Are they not so genuine ones? Are the latter more likely to draw a larger audience? You may be wondering why, and the answer is simple. They want you to sigh on their postings. Will they strategize how to swindle you or someone else? Still looking at how you might contribute to someone's rich lifestyle of crime, fraud, and deception? Well, your intellect is the sole safe device that will keep you from growing and becoming one of those who are conned to the person who will maintain their account intact. When I was in the service, especially during the combat, I had my weapon locked and unlocked, but only my brain dictated whether I shoot or not. Will I use my weapon or not? Because one bullet could take someone's life. And now let's go talk about the one of the influencer who is not so genuine. Somebody who took the millions of your money and the other ones replaced him. It's like a hydra. People go on social media, become the influencers, and somebody pays their lavishing lifestyle. And today we're going to talk about who is the Gucci billionaire. You heard me well, Gucci billionaire. So you ask yourself, who is the Gucci billionaire? By the way, coffee, it's awesome. His name is Ray Hushpuppi. He's a Nigerian social media influencer who flaunted a lavish lifestyle fueled by his efforts to launder millions of dollars in stolen funds. He was sentenced to more than 11 years in federal prison in Los Angeles last Monday. Ramon Abbas, his full name, he's 40 years old, was also sentenced by the federal judge to pay $1.7 million in restitution to 2 fraud victims, according to a statement from the U.S. Department of Justice. How a well-known Instagram influencer become the world's greatest fraudster, stealing millions of dollars, and yet you coming and putting the likes and comments and sighing on his posts. The FBI considered influencer Ramon Abbas, better known as a Hushpuppi, to his 2.5 million Instagram followers to be one of the world's top scammers. Abbas is a mastermind behind the largest cyber robberies, which resulted in millions of dollars being stolen. He started off as a humble Yahoo boy in Nigeria and climbed to become the infamous called Gucci billionaire. And of course, he was living where else? In luxury in Dubai. But he didn't live there forever and ever because he was arrested in Dubai 2020. His career began in, don't hold me exactly of the name of the place, it's called Ovonochki in Nigeria, a poor beach hamlet northeast of Lagos. His father was a taxi driver while his mother worked at the neighborhood market. Abbas was one of the Yahoo boys, and that is a group of romance scammers named after Nigeria's first free service provider. They designed a scheme to steal people's identities. They would choose lonely persons yearning of love and defraud them by assuming new identities. In Australia, we have many TV shows explaining how this love scam from Nigeria works. And, I must say to the media in Australia, very well done. You just educated new generation of fraudsters how not to do and how to do actually in Australia. But they designed this, one of the first one in the world, the romance scammers. They call the Yahoo boys. Now, once they had built a relationship under a false name, they will begin asking the online lovers for what else? For money, not for the medicine. Abbas, like many Yahoo boy scammers, set out to broaden his horizons in the sector. Why not? Abbas was one of the several persons who traveled to Malaysia, and he arrived in Kuala Lumpur 2014. and then in Dubai 2017. This is where the story becomes very, very interesting. And why is that? Because it's involving not such a friendly country and Abbas. We're talking about North Korea. That is when his Instagram photos, as well as the crimes he committed, become considerably more serious. Abigail Mamo, CEO of the Malta Chamber of Small and Medium Enterprises, spoke about the fraud that he has wreaked devastation on the island of the Malta. Tiny island, successful island, but they're being defrauded because the payment method did not work. Full trolleys were detected at the cash register in places. Members of the Chamber of Commerce reveal how they wire money to international suppliers via the bank platform in Valletta. But the money, that's a city, but the money never arrived. According to Mamo, tens of thousands of euros were at stake. The bank was successful in recovering 10 million euros. Around the time, Abbas sent a message to fellow con artists that simply say, "Damn it." So he was a little bit upset. The response that followed showed that another hoax was being planned. The next one will take place in few weeks. We will tell you when everything's finished, okay? So stay with me. It's a shame they broke it because, as stated in via answer to Abbas' message, there will be substantial payout here. The largest con, but Abbas was told to open bank account in Mexico in May 2019. A Premier League soccer team and a British firm each promised him £100 million. Now, ask yourself a question. British firm and Premier League soccer team, who they have for accountants? Who they have in their risk management team dealing with the fraud they don't see that something is wrong? Now, on hindsight, Abbas, Gucci Billionaire, congratulations. These guys knew it system inside out. And I mentioned this many times in my videos about social engineering, because the fraudsters, all they have is imagination and some research they can find online or somebody tells them. And they utilize the information it's like just amazingly advantage. Premier League soccer team, a British firm, promised them each £100 million. Now, the names of the club and the business are not mentioned in the court filings, but you can Google it. To commit the fraud, the business email compromise, BEC, was to be employed. BEC intercepts funds by sending phony emails that appear to be from the source. Only one letter or digit would be different. In those communications, the scammers would pose as suppliers who were expecting payment. Typically, they would say that they had changed business banks and advised the monies to be transferred to another account. Then the victims frequently did not suspect anything and transferred the money with a single mouse click, believing it had gone to the account of a long-time pals. However, the football club fraud was revealed when a British bank refused to transfer payments to Mexican bank account. Banks knows banks. "I'm unable to send money from the United Kingdom to Mexico, brother," the associate texted Abbas. "Somehow, I always get hacked." According to the BBC, no Premier League club had admitted to being victim of fraud. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that Premier Club says none of them were victim of fraud? Well, that's a rubbish. Of course, they're rubbish. They need to protect their reputation, of course. Professionals who never repented. According to John Sheelan, the head of fraud for the United Kingdom Organized Crime Agency, the criminal network was difficult to track down because of the jurisdiction. Of course, the jurisdiction. More and more crime is happening in cyberspace, and not every country, as we've seen in movies, like when you see the CIA, Navy SEAL teams are chasing people across the globe and doing all these things, or the FBI has agents who has a sip of the coffee and just wake up in the morning and say like, "I know where they are. We're gonna catch them." It doesn't work that way, and I explain to you why. Barney Al-Mazar, a Dubai lawyer, confirmed the same. 8 of his 25 clients in United Arab Emirates are Britons, and they all believe they're victims of the Hushpuppi BEC scheme. Now, you don't become just a victim of something online, except if you're tremendously naive and an educated person. And as I say, I can understand somebody who's 80 years old and click the email for the very first time in life and says, click here, you're gonna get $100,000. They believe it's a normal. But we are living in digital DNA age. You need to do due diligence. My son sends me emails from time to time, and I always check, is this really his email? I know it's him, but still inside of me, but that is me. That is me. I conducted thousands of investigations in the space of fraud, kidnapping, ransom, and the list goes on, foreign intelligence, diplomatic intelligence, and still I can be a victim. And I was the victim of my own success by my own son, yes. But the thing is, Hushpuppi must meet somebody. These things doesn't happen just because you click online, somebody offers you something. You must do something. That is, you see these people. How you see them? Well, that's what I say. We wake up in the morning, open the mobile phone, people are saying, oh, that Mario is good looking guy. Not, that's me, of course. And people say, I want to be like this guy or this lady or this person. Don't forget one thing. It's not accident that people are using social media. We all using social media. And fraudsters, they're creating credibility on social media. Look at my car, look at where I live, look at this one. I take you, everybody, in Dubai. And I'm telling you right now, for the $100 per night, I'll show you how you can pretend and you can look like you have millions of dollars. $100 per night, Australians. Yeah, that's the cheapest Australian dollar, is the cheapest one per night in Dubai. And I'll show you how you can do for the less than $100 per night in some hotel to look like you have billions of dollars. But Hushpuppi truly had money. Now, we can't be certain Hushpuppi is in charge of everything. However, examining the bank accounts reveals that they're all linked to the evidence uncovered by Dubai police while searching Hushpuppi residence, according to Al-Mazar, because he was living in Dubai, believing in Dubai I can do whatever I want. Because the people say, just go in Dubai, and in Dubai nobody cares, where the money comes from. Wrong. Dubai and Emirates, it's one of the hardest countries in the planet Earth because it's controlled from every side. And you can only leave this country by airplane, because you can't leave just on a border because you want, or you can just sit on some boat and travel from Dubai. It doesn't work that way. It's airplane. Zzz, and guess what? They're gonna get you on airport. One British victim claims he's been taken advantage out for £500,000, and he was forced to flee the United Arab Emirates and is now being prosecuted in Dubai for debt incurred as a result. His clients are aware that he was a victim of fraud. They do, however, demand the money back. My client has spent nearly his entire life in the Emirates, but he has no idea how to get back there. His family is still in Emirates, according to attorney Al-Mazar. He is concerned that may be evicted immediately. So what Hushpuppi did, and what's going to happen to you if you don't pay attention? Unfortunately, I have no time to educate you, everybody, and I wish, just take a small notes. Number one, it is listen your instinct. Don't use your logic, don't lose your emotion, use your instinct. If something's too good to be true, quite often it is. Hushpuppi screwed the people, took their money, destroyed their lifestyle. They've been prosecuted. Do you understand the implication of this one? It's not that you just lose your money, but you are prosecuted. By the time you explain yourself, your life is gone. That somebody else was using your identity, took your money and everything else. It's very difficult. Listen your instinct. Number one, if it's something too good to be true, usually it is. Al-Mazar continued that attorney believes that there are many more victims of Instagram influencers, but many of them are embarrassed and hesitant to disclose the occurrence to authorities. This is a very clever deception. Professionals are among the victims. According to Al-Mazar, many people are hesitant to admit they were tricked, and they are. Abbas' final large fraud came immediately before his arrest in June 2020, which is like 3 years ago right now. It was typically identity theft, identical to what he had done earlier in Nigeria. He dubbed the victim a Qatari businessman looking for $50 million to build a new school in Qatar by posing as a New York banker. Between December 2019 and February 2020, Abbas and his network of con artists from Kenya, Nigeria, and the United States scammed the victim of more than $1 million. Some of the money was laundered by purchasing a costly watch for incredible $230,000. The gang system began to fracture quickly. One of them was displeasure with the amount of money given to him, and of course, as the brothers always do this, you can witness all these things. Hey bro, particularly the con artists, criminals and everybody else, everybody's a brother before they face being locked down, and the list goes on. Then they start showing disappointment with each other, and they're looking how to screw each other, and of course that's how the police get them. You just need one. Because one of these guys with the Hushpuppi, he was so much displeasured with the amount of money given to him that he will threatening that he's gonna say everything. Abbas was determined to put him to sleep. He addressed a message to Abi Kiari, a buddy who works as a police officer in Nigeria, expressing his intention to stamp the little one so well that he remembers it for the rest of his life. I want to invest my money so that the little one ends up behind bars for a long time, the note said. Now, I don't know who is coaching those guys, who is coaching those criminals. I mean, it's funny because you don't use the mobile phone just organizing somebody to be beaten or assassinated or robbed or whatever it is on a message. I mean, guys, turn the brain on. It doesn't work that way. I mean, but he did it. He was organizing somebody to be in a prison for the rest of his life via mobile phone. And as I say, always what goes on the net stays on net forever. Following that, it's thought that Kiari detained the traitor of the group. That's the story. On the basis of fabricated evidence, and imprisoned him in Nigerian prison for a month in deplorable conditions. As a result, he is wanted by the US, but he has denied any involvement in Abbas activities. He is still at large and he refused to speak with the BBC reporters. However, Hushpuppi, he is becoming more popular. BEC fraud is widespread around the world. This approach alone was used to steal more than $1.8 billion in 2020 alone, according to FBI data. According to the indictment, Abbas is accused of stealing over $24 million, but many believe he stole even more. On Instagram, Abbas changed his profession from Gucci Billionaire to real estate dealer 8 months before the crime. Abbas was jailed in the United Arab Emirates following a police search on his Dubai house in June 2020. Abbas also admitted to laundering money through bank accounts all over the world, as well as a number of the cyber business email compromises schemes that resulted in losses totaling more than $24 million. That's what he admitted. However, during the operation, Dubai police discovered around $41 million in cash. $41 million in cash. That's not the banks, that's a cash. 13 expensive cars worth approximately $6.8 million. You know, the people who love to take pictures with the Bentleys and Ferraris. I still don't understand this, but that's okay. $6.8 million worth of cars, phone and computer evidence, more than hundreds of thousands fraud files, and the names of approximately 2 million potential victims. He was apprehended alongside another Nigerian, Olaleka Jacob Ponley alias Woodbury, in a joint operation with the US agents known as a Fox Hunt 2, according to Dubai police. Abbas was handed over to FBI agents before being flown to Los Angeles to face charges of money laundering through cybercrime. Despite admitting guilt to money laundering in April 2021, Hushpuppi's social media accounts are still active and acquiring new followers. I mean, guys, seriously, but that's what he did. He was being arrested, but his media accounts were still open and gaining new followers. Nobody knows why his social media profiles are still live, and according to Instagram, Hushpuppi account was reviewed and the decision was made not to deactivate their profile. However, when a reporter contacted Snapchat, the account was swiftly deactivated. According to Dr. Oyenuga, Hushpuppi is still well known and regarded as a role model by many. I live here. Many young people in our country struggle to get by each day. When parents see a young person achieving life, they experience a sense of strength. I've seen parents contemplating how to train their children to be Yahoo boys, ads, or Yenuga. According to Seye, everyone who knows Hushpuppi is aware of the crime he committed, but they understand him. Nobody chooses to remain poor, so when they see someone else becoming affluent, they pray to God that it will also happen to them, according to Seye. Abbas was sentenced to pay $922,000 in restitution to legal company and $800,000 in compensation to the victim in Qatar. He was also sentenced to the 135 months in federal prison. Before we end this episode today, I'm basing every my episode on the facts, not opinions. So I'll tell you this, Hushpuppi is not only one. After him comes others. It's like a hydra. You cut one head, 8 new ones comes out. But one thing what they become, it's become the more crafted, the more resilient. They're becoming more smarter to get money and not to be caught. On one side, they've been educated by the many professionals online. I mean, doesn't matter what platform you go, people love to talk about their successes, how to prevent a fraud, how they catch somebody, what is the modus operandi, and list goes on. However, if something is too good to be true, quite often it is. Losing money, it's a one thing, but they're stealing your identity, your lifestyle, and put you against the wall. So use your number one safety, which is your intuition. Thank you for watching. Like the battlefield. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment, and let's go learn from each other much more about influencers who are not so influencing. Thank you.